Yeah, so my movie is The Brilliant Burning.
Oh, well, now you tell us. We just saw the regular burning.
Must- Hello.
Hello. Welcome to this episode of What the Flicks podcast. This would be episode number 73. Ooh.
Part one.
Part one. Okay, so the movies that we're going to be looking at. Oh, my name is Susan Ayers.
I'm Patty Smith.
Adelan Shima.
Jorge Sanchez.
Bob Nick Shields.
Yes, there you go. So the movies that we're going to be looking at in this episode are The Gray, No Hard Feelings, Mr. Holmes, Wicked Little Letters, and Burning. So
We're back.
I think that means we're back.
Pitiful as that was,
Okay,
but
so this
I'm running
week,
out of breath.
Oh no.
George, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this week is George.
Yeah, so my movie is The Brilliant Burning.
Oh, well, now you tell us. We just saw the regular burning.
Must have been a different one. So Burning is Burning is look at my nose. 'Cause
I want to see if anybody can finish that sentence.
It's an interesting film. That's my first sentence.
So Burning, the story is based off Haruki Murakami's short story. It's called Barn Burning. This movie is directed by Lee Chang-dong and is considered a cinematic masterpiece. And I agree. In the movie,
I agree too.
we meet Jong-seo, an aspiring writer. And while walking, he sees a couple of girls dancing in front of a store, trying to attract customers. And then one of the girls comes up to him and asks him if he recognizes her. It turns out that they were childhood neighbors and classmates. Her name is Ha-yeon, and she has a plastic surgery. She goes, "You might not recognize me because I have plastic surgery," which is really big in South Korea. So in the movie, we find out that in South Korea, a lot of women have huge debt. This includes Ha-yeon, the girl that he meets, and that a lot of these women disappear. So Ha-yeon tells Jong-soo that she wants to be a pantomime, and also mentions that she's going to Africa on a soul-searching trip. And that in Africa, they have a concept of little hunger and big hunger. She explains that a little hunger is about poverty, money, wealth, while great hunger is about life's meaning. So she wants Jong-soo to watch her cat boil. So they go to her apartment so she can give him instructions on a fitting boil and for a little rumpy pump.
She wants to watch the cat boil?
Yeah.
No, that's the cat's name.
The name is Boyle.
that's
The
good.
cat's name.
So he's giving instructions on how to watch boil and have a little rumpy pump. So upon her return from Africa, she asks him to pick her up, and she arrives with another guy. This guy she met while stranded in the airport. His name is Ben, played by this guy's
Stephen Yuen.
Stephen
Stephen
Yeun,
Yeun,
who's
yeah.
brilliant from
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead,
Glenn.
and there was another movie he did that was pretty great.
Minami, remember
Yeah,
that?
Minari.
Minari.
brilliant.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's very charismatic. He's rich, has money, but he also feels odd. He feels like a sociopath. He drives a Porsche. He has a great apartment. So and we don't know what he does for a living, except that he likes to burn barns. He likes burning barns as a hobby. So to me, the film, to me, the movie is about class. Because in Korea, the movie tells you that in Korea that a lot of women go in there because there's a lot of capitalism, and a lot of women want to be, they do plastic surgery, so they want to be look a certain way, so they just go in debt. And once they go in debt, they end up being like a lot of the families will be like, you're in debt, like hey means, they cast them out and go, you don't come back until you pay off your debt. So And the movie talks about, to me, it talks about class and how the upper class takes advantage of the poor class in Korea.
Hmm.
And in this case, Ben would be considered the upper class. Very successful, and Hey Me would be considered the lower class. Now, the movie is interesting because what's his name? Guy's name is Jong-seo. He, because he meets, he's really into Hey Me. Yeah, but like he really likes her and everything. He's kind of it's kind of a bit of a doofus, but he also has his own history with his father. That his father had a problem with the law, and he fought the law, and the law won basically. So he's left with on his own. His mother left. We later found out that his mother had the same situation as Jamie, where she was in huge debt, so she had to disappear as well. He is obsessed with Amy. And so when she comes back with this guy Ben, he is very jealous of that. But he's also, his obsession for her in a way turns into his obsession for him, because he's kind of interested in this guy. What is he all about? He's just so odd. And the movie, to pardon the pun, is a slow burn. The three actors are really good. It has a twist ending. I mean, really a twist, but it makes sense because we find out what Ben does basically. But the movie, the cinematography is amazing, and the movie's making a social commentary about the rich and poor in Korea. But let's discuss it. I loved it.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, that was great.
Well, I watched it, and I said, I'm not getting this. So I fast forwarded, and I said, wait a minute, have I seen this movie? I don't think so, because I don't remember this. I fast forward a little more. There's something else. I said, wait a minute, I must have seen this movie. And finally, I realized I fast forwarded through the movie, so I remembered the beginning and some little images during it, and then kind of remembered the ending. And I said, whether I fast forwarded it through it or not, I don't understand anything. I have no idea what just happened in this movie. So I'm going to go online and look it up. So I have an explanation of it. So I went online and looked it up, and I'm reading the guy's description of it, and I go, he fast forwarded through it too. I said, this guy's talking about the same things I saw, and he didn't see anything either. There is no explanation given at the end of the thing. So it's just like, I mean, what the hell? Why did I watch this thing? Why does anybody like this thing? There's nothing. There's no there. What more? I can't say anything more. But it's just, I think it's really weird though that a guy got his blurb on the internet when he obviously fast forwarded through it exactly the same way I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
Well, I'll tell you what it's about.
Please don't.
At the end of it.
Well, I thought it was interesting that the character Yu Un-in, which is the love interest, right? He was a big fan of Faulkner. Faulkner?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has something to do with nihilism.
Well, that's where the title came from. Barn burning is the name of a
Yes.
Faulkner story.
Yes.
The most exciting thing.
Based on but the Japanese
It's a
guy
Japanese
wrote
story, yeah.
like a version of his version, and yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
I thought it was a very interesting film. In fact, I was thinking about it for days after. It's a love story, a mystery, and a statement about class. It's all three things at the same time. Shin-han, me, is a very complicated character. I feel her and Ben are both sort of sociopaths in their own way,
Oh, interesting.
right? But she does make two important contributions to the film. She studies mime, and she's very good at it. And she introduces the question of reality. What is reality? She has Lee Jong-seo, which is the love interest of her, the guy that she knew from her past, right? Feed her cat while she's away in Africa. But nobody ever really sees the cat. It's kind of like Schroeder's cat, You know what I mean?
Schrodinger's
It's like-
cat.
Is
Yeah,
Ryan
Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
cat.
cat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, did it exist? It doesn't exist, you know?
Mhm.
So she also talks about the little hunger, which is kind of your everyday, like I need to
Right.
eat, I need to that, and the
The
big
great
hunger. And that's why she's going to Africa. She explains this too. She explains it very well. I felt like she was the most interesting character mentally because she's a sociopath, basically because she kind of has to be. And she's also very kind of intellectual, but she's very young. So she thinks of it kind of in a like when I'm younger, it's like, I want to go to India, you know, like that.
But it's
You
also-
know?
Yeah, you're right. She has her own
and I
perspectives
was-
about certain things,
Yeah.
and she's really sort of committed to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're
and I
right.
was gonna say this
Yeah.
one thing that I forgot to mention that in the movie there's a scene that reminded me of the dinner game.
Yeah, you were saying
Yes.
that.
I saw that too,
But there's
yeah.
all these high class people and they get together for dinner, and of course he brings his girlfriend of the day, and she's talking about big hunger, little hunger, and how the Africans do this dance, and she's dancing, but you can see all this. To me, high class people to me she's more like entertainment to them.
Oh, right. You know, they
This
encourage
part.
her to dance.
Yeah.
Remember? They
And
said,
you
oh,
see-
yes, let's see it.
And
Let's
to
do
me,
it.
the best thing is because they have young who what his name is there, how Ben, who's what's his name, the actor's name,
Stephen
who's
Yuen.
brilliant.
Stephen
How
Yeun.
he's kind of bored. He yawns, but he looks at Ben. He looks at Ben. And goes, to me, it's like this guy's a sociopath, and she's so that scene kind of explained the movie to me too about
Yes.
about the classes.
Yes.
Back to you.
Lee.
Jong-seo.
Just say the girl because
Yeah.
No,
just say-
this is a guy. You and
Jong-soo.
Ian, who
Jong-soo.
is Lee Young-soo.
Yeah.
Right? He's our protagonist, and he's pretty thick. He's
Yeah,
pretty
he's
thick,
dense.
but he has good instincts. And he is the one who leads us into he has morals. He has good instinct, and he's the only one in this movie that does. But it's almost instinctual. Like he supports his father. I could see his father feels he did nothing wrong. So he is not compromising one bit. It's like his father did something, like for instance, say you walked into a room, somebody's beating up a woman and you punch the guy out. He's getting arrested for something like that. And he says, I did nothing wrong. He will not compromise.
Right.
So in a way, his son also has that. He's very in love with this girl. She's interesting. She's not actually almost like real. She's kind of interesting. But he does have his sense of morality. There's something wrong with this guy. And
He tells at one point, there's something wrong with you.
there's something wrong with you, but I like you.
right on the button.
No.
But
Yeah.
nothing wrong in the sense that she's evil. He's evil. She's not evil. So it kind of so the next couple of days, I'm thinking about it all the time. And actually I watched, because they won the Cannes award for this movie.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So yes. So I watched their thing, and okay, you can't even believe the two guys. The guy that plays the Lee Young-soo,
Okay.
he's like a boy band guy.
Yeah, he's like a good-looking
He's
guy.
a
and
very
very-
handsome. He's wearing a white suit. He's like white teeth. He's like the exact opposite of what he plays. Stephen Yeun, he's like kind of this glasses, intellectual kind of guy, and I was like, oh my God, these guys are great actors because they couldn't be more actually different.
But they also
than
want
apart.
Stephen Young because in a way he plays because he's American. There's
Right.
sense in the movie that he plays like, for example,
He's supposed to be a worldly guy.
yeah, what a guy, but
Mhm.
like when he first meets Jong-soo,
He shakes
he
hands.
shakes hands. Jong-soo goes, that's a classic Korean.
Wow. Yeah.
Ben doesn't. He just shakes his hand.
Yeah.
He's just.
See, they
he just
wanted
says the
him.
truth
Like
are
he's
different.
westernized.
He's
Yeah,
westernized.
he
He's
wanted
different.
him to be that. So, because he was nervous of taking the part because he felt his Korean
Wasn't that
he had a
great?
strong accent, right? But he was like, no, that's good because I want you to be kind of this worldly kind of person.
Character.
Mhm.
You know, that worked out good. So it was really interesting watching the actual Jong-seo, the Shin-rok,
Amy?
the actual girl.
That's the first role, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
and but she was kind of, she's also just kind of a very serious, you know. So that I felt like the characters were really interesting because they were so different than the people that were playing them. This is definitely an issue, as an example of where actors are 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 way less interesting than the characters they play.
I don't think that
Yeah.
I think that as I recall when I read about it that she had never done anything. She came in and they were so impressed with her that they rewrote the part for her.
That would actually make sense because she
Yeah.
really has that Holly Golightly kind of quality,
Yeah,
in
she
my
was,
opinion.
she was quite
you know?
annoying to me because it was like, how
Mhm.
do you basically seduce this guy, and then you walk in with this other guy? You should also know, as just normal, that this might be a
Conflict.
difficult situation.
Chicks.
Why do you have to have him come and get you when you met this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
wasn't okay with her.
Oh yeah,
But
no, I
I-
was never okay
but-
with her.
Yeah.
But she's but I
That's a
don't
good thing.
but I don't feel like she's I feel like she's more stupid than she is evil.
Hmm.
She just kind of goes with the flow. She has this idea like, I want to go and I want to be this and I want to go be free and I
No,
want to,
exactly. Yes.
you know, like that.
Yes.
So she doesn't really think about how she affects other people. The only person with any moral character was the
Jong-soo.
Poor
Yeah.
kid.
yeah,
No.
Lee and Soo,
Jong-soo.
and his father. Funny enough,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
that's yeah. I really like the movie. I was thinking about it for days later, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm
I'm still
thinking
burning
about
it.
Okay.
What is the
Okay,
movie?
so when I before I watch a movie, I like to read the what it's about, right? And the reviews just to get an idea. So this is what it said to entice me to watch this movie. A boy meets a girl he likes from the past. She asks him to watch his cat.
Her cat.
Or cat, whatever. She comes with another boy and he is upset. That's supposed to get me, wow, I've got to see this movie, right? Then I read the reviews and I'm like, wow, it must be awesome.
Intense.
Because genius, outstanding.
I think
Yeah.
it was. I think it was.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
No, this movie is so fucking boring.
Oh.
They can't act. The cinematography sucks.
Great.
And it's not even a good bad, you know, where you could get into it. It's just so boring. It's like they can't act. Nobody ever talks different than that. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. There you go. Your turn. Wanda. The end.
Let's say you like.
Should have been called Who Cares?
Yeah, you're really-
Well, it's sort of funny because I in a way I understand what you say when you say that because I had a hard time watching the movie. Like I said, I watched 30 minutes of the movie and it's like, okay, turn it off. It's like, this is not engaging. So I got to go back and watch it, you know, because I got to watch the whole movie, whether I like
Me
it or
too.
not. I'm
Right.
going to watch the entire
Exactly.
movie, right?
Me too.
So then I'm watching it and I thought, you know, God, 30 years ago, this is the kind of movie I used to really get into because
Really?
these are
Yeah.
character studies.
Because we were told they were artsy.
Oh,
You know, that's what this is. It's a character study for me. So my thing is, but I couldn't get into the characters because I couldn't quite understand them. Like I said, I pegged the girl as, like I said, like a Holly Golightly. She just was this lively girl, just seemed very engaging, refreshing. So when she goes up to the guy and he's not quite sure about her, and says, "Oh yeah, well I had plastic surgery," which I thought that was an odd remark to right
I
off the
think
bat,
that's
right?
very common in the Asian.
Well, no,
Korea.
that's what he
Yeah,
was
so
saying.
all the
That's what he was
K-pop
saying,
people
right?
will look exactly
Yeah.
alike.
Yeah. So then it's like, okay. But then the way he goes along with it, because I did laugh that he does mention he wants to be a writer, right? At one point, because I think like his college education and everything. So, but then it's like, so, okay, I can see where he's just absorbing everything. He's just taking everything in.
He wants to get into her pants. That's the bottom line.
Well, he
Well, he
sort of
got into
almost
her pants
does.
really quite
Exactly, very
early.
quickly. So that's why it's like, but then
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, she
oh,
had to kind of nudge him.
But is it like, okay, then like you said, all of a sudden she's showing up back from her vacation after I said, "Oh, can you take care of my cat?" He does so religiously, even though he never sees the cat. He knows it's a lie because he says it's pooping. That's the only reason he knows there's a cat in the apartment, right?
Right.
And she lives in a tiny, I mean, this looks like just a bedroom. That's
my
all
God.
there was, just a one-room thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. And it's unkempt and everything. So then it's like,
Didn't she say something about having a nice view or something?
Yeah.
yes, it has
It was like-
one good view, right? I get sunlight at least one part of the day,
I
right?
think it gets there a certain time of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, but he is such the main character, you're right, the protagonist. And that's the thing. I don't know if he's good in this movie or not because it's such an odd character because he is supposed to be boring. You could tell that he is sort of wandering his life. He doesn't know what he wants to do except he wants to write. But he's doing these odd jobs and he's doing this and that. Then he's got to take care of the father's farm kind of thing. So it's like, and he only works part-time on top of that. That's what sort of surprised me too. It's like, oh, I have a part-time job. Even the lawyer who is representing his father, because his father has to go to court, he says, "Oh, you have a college education, right?" He goes, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, you working?" It's like, "Oh, I work part-time." And I thought, see, even the lawyer's thinking, why are you working part-time if you have a college
Right.
education, right?
I think there's something very.
Pardon. Go ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
But remember, the movie is a mystery too because there's a scene. I mean, obviously, I don't know how far you guys got, but the girl disappears.
I watched
Well,
the
no,
whole thing.
I watched the whole movie.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he visits Ben, and there he has a cat. He goes, "I found this cat."
Oh, right. Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
now
That's how I knew the cat.
Now,
Right.
Jong-seo looks because he goes to the bathroom twice, and he looks into Ben's things, and he finds a lot of woman lipstick and a lot of woman stuff.
Jewelry. He finds
Right.
mostly jewelry,
and
right?
he
Yeah.
finds that the watch.
Right, the
too.
pink watch.
My cat is open.
Right.
So
Spoiler.
yeah, exactly. So and then he finds a cat, and then but the cat disappears.
Right.
He knows her cat is named Boyle.
Right.
So he calls the cat out named Boyle, and the cat comes to him.
Right.
So he wonders. So he goes, Ben has Boyle. What happened to the girl?
Well, see, that's part of the thing I was talking about because I was going to talk about how it's unkempt, her apartment, right?
Yeah, and
Then-
it's clean,
It's very neat.
Well,
and that's very neat.
well, when she has not responded to him calling, he convinces the landlady, "Can you please just open the door because there's a cat involved," right?
So
And then they're saying, "Oh, he doesn't have a cat." So they go in, no sign of a cat, and it's perfectly decorated. And he thought, "Oh, maybe she went away," but her suitcase, I mean, literally,
Yeah.
you see it. So everything you see visually, it's like,
Right.
okay, maybe there is something
yeah,
weird going on
and so
here.
suddenly
Yeah.
becomes
Right.
a more mystery
Right.
in a way.
Well, let me
But-
just say, do you have a theory about what happened to her?
See, that's my thing. In the course of the movie, because basically we're giving away the plot now. Because what happens is, okay, you see them meet, then she goes off, then she comes back from Africa. She brings this other guy. Now this other guy's inviting Jong-seo to go along as well. It's like, oh yeah, she told me you're her best friend, everything. In fact, he even admits to it. He's slightly jealous because she
Trust
says,
her. She trusts
you're
him.
the only one she trusts. So it's like, okay, this dynamic of this triangle now is getting weird because she's obviously going to the Ben character
Mm.
as like a boyfriend now. But she also had these wonderful, in my opinion, character quirks. Like she would fall asleep anywhere. So you see her several times where she's just like they're eating at a restaurant and she's literally passed out. Not that she's drunk or anything. She just falls asleep.
What's the
when she's
point of
tired.
that?
That's like a child.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. That see, this is just proving that she's a child. So she even admits too that I just want to disappear.
And
That
also,
when she said that, I thought, okay, this is probably going to happen then.
and also her
Sure
mother,
enough, it does.
her
So-
family tells her, we don't want her to come back. And
Right,
she
because-
pays off her debt.
Right. They don't want it because of the credit card stuff. Because that's another thing. Like you said, I didn't understand that. And even when Ben meets, or Jong-seo meets the
His
mother,
mother,
she says
same
something
story.
about being in debt. And that's
Yeah.
why I said I sort of scratched my head. The only thing that did sort of make me smile is when I found out that Ben lived in Gangnam or Gangnam or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
Oppa
I
Gangnam style.
I didn't realize that meant the rich area, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay, so that's what Gangnam Style is you're living the rich life, right? So anyway, so he's got that life, and why he invites her in, I keep saying it's like, why is that possible? And I said, no, because of her kind of charm that she has. Because you're right, she's very engaging.
Are we
She's
talking
likable.
about why Steve,
We're talking about
why-
Jaime.
why
But
Ben
also-
invited her in, or why he?
Yeah, no. Why he's even involved with
But
her?
in a way, he meets
Yeah.
like his mother.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the odd kind of thing. So, but by the end of the movie, it's like when you guys watch this movie, I don't know how you're going to interpret the ending because it is very, in my opinion, it's odd. Like I like the first half of the movie, but by the second half, I'm not getting engaged
I
anymore.
do have a theory,
So that's
which
it.
I can't say right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, right.
I
Exactly.
do.
But
have a
that's
theory.
basically it. And then that's what I was going to say. It's sort of like at first I thought, oh, the first part isn't engaging, but I said no, they're really setting up the characters
There is-
very well at the beginning.
There is,
But it's when it happens at the second end that completely I'm lost.
there is
So-
like a lot of really good movies that I've watched. There is
Mhm.
something that tells you in the movie what's going on.
But also
But
remember,
it's just
But
kind
you
of
have
a
to stay
nothing.
awake.
But also-
It's just a nothing. It's
Exactly.
just a very
but remember,
little-
Burns says he likes burning barns, but that could also be a thing about something else.
Well,
You
see
know?
that
Whatever.
was the fascinating part too, because at one point it's sort of funny because when Ben mentions that to the Jong-soo character, the Jong-soo character sort of gets curious and keeps looking. It's not so much the barns; it's the greenhouses.
Right,
He
the
keeps saying,
greenhouses,
"We
yeah.
burn
Right,
a greenhouse.
right,
I like to burn a
greenhouse, yeah.
greenhouse."
Yeah.
So he says, "Oh, I burned one very close to you," and so then Jong-soo becomes obsessed. Like, well, where did he go? So he literally goes around his neighborhood to look, and I thought, this
Again.
is sort of bizarre. Again, it's like, what's going on? And yet, I'm wondering. Is this a story that he's making up in his mind?
Okay.
That's like saying there's so many things going on by the end
But
that
also for
Let's-
me,
anything can happen.
but also for me,
Yeah.
I wish I would cut from spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's
me-
thing, and when we get off
Yeah,
screen,
we
we
can
can
continue.
discuss
but
that.
to me-
I'm all for that.
Yeah, but to me,
Let's
Ben,
rate it. No, don't tell
No,
rate
no,
anything.
go
we'll discuss this
ahead.
afterwards.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you want that was your movie, right?
Right.
You don't think so?
Not
Me,
on this one.
I gave this a 10. I liked it.
I give it a 2.
I gave it
Sorry.
a 5.
This movie is a 10.
You gave that movie a 5, the same as mine.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for watching episode 73, and remember to like us, and remember to like us and
Subscribe. Please comment.
And if you would like to support us, you can go to Patreon
And
and
buy us a coffee.
Tell us the
Buy us a
movie
coffee.
you'd like.
buy us coffee and let us know movies you like. In fact,
We'll
we
review
have
it.
still to do some French movies.
Oh, I'm
We
going to do
haven't
that's my next
French
one.
and
I'm
Indian
going to
movies.
do one of the Francois
And
Bear
we
films.
thank you
Please
very
make it a
much
comedy.
for sending
yes.
that.
Oh, no, really.
And we are going to get to that list.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
So,
Oh, I got one
Thank
more
you.
on my thing.
Goodbye.
I got one more on my,
And your
my
series.
arc
Bye.
here before
Say
I go.
goodbye.
you need to
George.
say something?
No,
now?
no, no. I just mean I have my
Bye.
movie booked for the next. Well,
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Your
goodbye,
series.
everybody.
Okay.
yeah. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
We don't pay attention to this program. We still love you.